So for those of you who live in LA, let me know if you've experienced this, or even worse, if you're one of these people. People in LA, a higher percentage of people in LA, because obviously there's people who don't do this, but a higher percentage of people in LA than other cities don't use their turn signals predictively or proactively. Usually they'll go to the intersection before using their turn signals. I don't know about you guys, but when I took driver's ed, they always told you to be a predictive, proactive driver. You got to let people know in advance you're going to turn, right? But people in LA don't have that. And I've been noticing it a lot, but last night was the first time that it led to the most awkward encounter. I was at an intersection. I'm very careful with cars. I don't trust them. If I got to a stop light first, or I got to a stop sign first, I want to make sure they see me. And even when they see me, sometimes I'll tell them to go, because I'm not in a hurry, but people in LA are in a hurry. So this guy, he was at a stop sign already, and he was just stopped there. So he was there first. And obviously, as a pedestrian, I should still have the right of way. But I was like, since you're there first, go ahead. So I waved to him. I'm like, go ahead. And he flashes his high beams at me to tell me to keep going. So I'm like, okay, thank you. So I crossed the street. As I crossed the street, the guy who was at the intersection uses his right turn signal and turns right. So the whole time, he could have just indicated that he was going to turn right, but instead, because he didn't use his turn signals, he had to use his high beams to tell me, oh, you can go. And it happened to me today again. This time, we were technically going the same way. The car was going in the opposite direction as me, right? So imagine if I'm walking this way, the car's going this way. So the car and I should not have crossed paths. But I noticed the car was stopped there at the stop sign for a very long time. And there's a person in front of me, so the person crossed. And I was like, well, if the person in front of me is crossing, I'm crossing too. So after both me and the person were in the middle of the street about to finish crossing halfway, the person then put on his blinkers to indicate that he was going to make a left turn. That's why he was stopped there. So I just don't get it. What is it about LA? I have a hypothesis, but I'm going to ask this. What is it about LA that made people forget or just purposefully not use their turn signals? And my hypothesis is some people in LA, if you're proactive, predictive, you want to tell people that you're going to turn, people are going to try to pass you. So you get into this habit of you can't tell people that you're going to turn, else you're never going to turn. You have to almost like squeeze and get into the turn and then last minute tell people you're going to turn. Does that make sense? On the highways, I've noticed this always, but at stop signs in communities in a not busy area of LA, I've been noticing it recently. So you guys let me know what's going on, man. Why do people in LA, or a higher percentage of people in LA, not use their blinkers, not use their turn signals? Is it purposeful? Is it accidental? Is it both? What is it, man? Tell me you're not a little confused when this happens, right? It's like, I grow up all my life, I was taught to use my turn signal way before the turn, and then I was taught to expect other people to do it. And this city, that's not the paradigm. So now there's this extra element. It's not just cars that might cross paths with you. Now, today especially, cars that you don't think might cross paths with you, potentially, they just don't have their blinkers on, right? So now you have to be really careful. It's ridiculous. Guys, let me know what's going on with LA. LA people, weigh in too, okay? Talk to you soon.